Happy New Year, everyone. Welcome to 2021. And with 2021 marks the 14th year that GamerLogic has been on YouTube. I can't believe it's been 14 years. So crazy. I think GamerLogic is almost old enough to go get its driving permit, which that is very, very terrifying if you've ever seen me play a racing game before. But I'd like to wish you all a very safe and a very healthy and a very fantastic 2021. And with the fact that it is 2021, it's time to do the annual GamerLogic Retro Game Room Tour. If you haven't seen these in the past on the channel, I like to go through once every year and discuss what's new to the room, what's been taken away, have I thrown anything out, and what just the overall stance of my collecting status is this year as opposed to previous years. So I just got done shooting a quick 30-minute video and tried not to get too long into certain topics. I tried to, move along and discuss like the new things and stuff like that. But if there's anything you'd like to have me discuss in more detail, you can definitely leave a comment down below and I can talk more about that in the comments, or who knows, maybe I'll do an additional video to that. But anyway, I hope you enjoy this video and this tour, and buckle up, folks. It's going to be a fun ride. Welcome to 2021 and welcome to GamerLogic 2021. Hello everyone and welcome to the retro game room in the house here. This is for 2021. I'm sure I already did a fancy introduction about what this video is going to be, but if not, this is a look at the retro room and what entails retro in this room. Well, we go as far back, if we're looking at the fancy tower here, we go as far back as the NES, the MSX, the TURBOGRAFX-CD, the Neo Geo AES, the Sega Genesis, the PlayStation, the Sega Saturn, as well as the Super Nintendo, and then we have other consoles over here. But not all of these are connected. Let's try the zoom action here, see how this looks. Hey, look at that. We have a 3DO, a Wii, a Nintendo GameCube, a PlayStation 2, a Sega CD unit, a Nintendo 64, and loaded in the closet there is other assorted retro game systems, but regrettably, there's just not room for everything these days. So you kind of have to pick what works best and go from there, basically. So I thought we'd go through the game room, talk about changes we've had throughout the year. And yeah, that's pretty much what we're going to do here. We made a number of changes in this room for the simple fact that well, for 2020, I was working from home for most of the pandemic, and I started noticing a lot of stuff around the house that just aged or needed to be changed or needed to be repaired. And this room, if you've watched previous game room videos, I always complain that this room is hot as hell during the summer and then pretty cold during the winter, right? And started reading into it because especially when I was working from home during the summer, I'd be like, oh my God, it is so hot in here. What do we need to do to fix this? So, our house, we've almost been living here for 20 years. And the house was built in 2001, I want to say. So, it's just got to that point where contractor special stuff has started to fail. And we had cheap windows put in this house, as we came to find out. So one of the first things we did was we replaced all the windows upstairs, which is not a cheap endeavor, I will tell you. But that being said, we get the new window in here, and oh my God, what a difference in terms of temperature. Whether it's hot, whether it's cold, just makes a huge difference. And because we got new windows, it changed things up for us a little bit as far as how our blinds went, and we had to get brand new blinds. So what we ended up doing was going through 3-day blinds, and my wife actually picked these. Just these really cool colored reddish. Actually, kind of, if you look, it comes really close to how the Sega Saturn Kiosk color scheme looks. It just looks awesome. Paprika, that's the color, paprika color. Just looks amazingly awesome and does a really damn good job of blocking out the light. You know, not so much of an issue for me during normal seasons in the Midwest, but now it's January. There's snow on the ground, and just the way the light bounces off and feeds that really, really bright natural light just gives me a headache. So it's nice just to be able to shut the shades, enjoy the new window, and stay warm. And as far as my light goes, well, I have plenty in this room now. I'll never forget, you know, having to purchase lights for filming to try to get stuff to work properly, to not make things look so dark. And we really have plenty of options as far as lighting goes in this room. I'm a big fan of hue lights. And with hue lights, I'm able to sync them. I can put them to music. I can light the scene however I want. And like 90% of the lights you see in here are hue based. So I'm able to sync things up, really light the room, not just for filming, but for any style I really need. And then when I want to accent the lights in the room, I can use these grids. So these are Nanoleaf. I believe these are the canvas lights. These are actually, I think, being discontinued. So I got a heavy discount on them. But these are really nice for getting a nice, even white light shot across my face when I'm using the webcam there. And then if I need a little extra light, of course, I have this guy here, a little ring light, which is great for shots as well. But I try to use just natural light in the room, and that tends to work very well. The reason I got these is because I originally got these, the Nanoleaf Rhythm, these Nanoleaf light panels, and these are awesome. You can sync to music, you can sync to games, you can light however you want them. I've got this really cool PlayStation icons light scheme that sets up and just flows across the room, but it gives such a naturally cool ambiance to the room that I love it. I actually have, I don't know, like, let's see, how many are here? 5. I have 4 more panels that are missing here because New Year's Day I walked into the game room and they fell off the damn wall. They use those particular sticky pads actually to mount to the wall so you don't damage your wall. And when these fell, it actually cracked the little links on them. So I'm waiting for new links, waiting for new 3M stuff. Hopefully these hold up a bit better. But yeah, that really annoyed the crap out of me. So plenty of lighting. You gotta love that. Let's talk about something more game related in the actual room, huh? Why don't we talk about the cartridge collection here? So if I didn't mention it in my introduction video, I'm going to mention it here. One of my New Year's resolutions is to try not to pick up any classic video games, any retro games. And you're like, dude, are you insane? Like, we know you see stuff, and we know you'll pick it up. Yeah, that's true, but I'm trying really hard not to. Just kind of what I mentioned with, you know, taking care of the house and windows and stuff like that. There's more stuff I want to have done to the house. There is a ton more I want to do to our basement. I'd love to get our basement finished. So I really don't need to be spending money on games because I have plenty of them. I still buy modern games. And really there's enough to do here. So the only way I will actually break that is if I go to game conventions. And I am planning to go to lots of game conventions. Of course, that depends on coronavirus. But doing things with Old School Gamer Magazine, last year we kind of had opportunities to travel to different game conventions, and Corona killed that. So I'm hoping I can take advantage of that again this year, probably towards the middle of the summer, because everything, of course, is going to depend on how the vaccine goes and everything with that. But I want to see some different conventions. I will be going to the Midwest Gaming Classic in November, of course, but I want to see what the rest of the world has to offer, at least in the States. So specifically this shelf, of course, we've got Super Nintendo games. Got my Mega Drive X7. I recently upgraded to the, the Mega SD. I'm digging that. That Mario Game & Watch is just so badass. I love that thing. So many games. So many favorites. And I actually, in the 9 minutes I've been talking, I don't recall whether or not I said this earlier, but I am shooting this on an iPhone 12 Max in 4K as well. On the side here, I have a new GoPro that we're shooting in 4K. So I really want to see what camera ends up giving us the better picture for this stuff, and what has better audio. What is my favorite part of this shelf? Probably the Famicom games, because I love just how they're colored. Here, we're gonna do a 2.5 zoom here, see how this goes. See if it doesn't get too pixelated here, but just look at the colors of all those mini games. It's a beautiful thing. All right, zoom out. Let's talk a little Castlevania. Castlevania Rondo of Blood. Got that from Mondo Tees. Really badass shot of Richter there. Check that out. So cool. So sharp. Talking about other Castlevania things around the room is this here, and of course it's going to be a little reflective, unfortunately, but still cool as hell. Castlevania 3 artwork. Excellent print from the original artist there. And then these pixel frames. Man, I love these pixel frames. We got Contra, we've got Castlevania 1, and then on the top there, we got Symphony of the Night, the famous intro scene where Alucard loses all his awesome gear to death. I got more of those coming out, by the way. More Castlevania ones that look just freaking awesome. Now, for my favorite Castlevania stuff, a little Castlevania wing here. Of course, we got the Netflix figures, which, I kept in the packaging. Got sent some review units, basically, to open up. Really, really poor action figures, unfortunately, but what can you do? Packaging's cool. They look cool in the package. These first for figure statues, God, I love these things. I actually have Dracula on the way. They announced Dracula, God, probably at the end of 2019. I put down the pre-order for it. I think I have one final payment remaining for that. And then these guys will be joined by Dracula. But of course we have Alucard here, who just looks phenomenal. Look at the detail on that shield. Seriously. Just so damn cool. I remember picking up the Mondo Alucard statue, God, probably 2 years ago from a shop for a friend. And I ended up getting an extra out of the deal. And I think I posted a YouTube video of it, and people were just like, oh, that statue's so ugly. And I was like, I think it's pretty cool. Well, then I looked, of course, and they're like, no, you got to check out the first figures. And I'm like, okay, yeah, you're right. Simon Belmont, Castlevania, the epic pose from the cover art of the first game. If you don't know what I'm talking about, let's head over to the boxed games. These are all complete in box, Genesis, Nintendo, Super Nintendo, all that good stuff. But we're on a mission here for Castlevania. So essentially, that goes along the statue. You get to see Simon from the front, which is pretty cool. Right? Absolutely love the statue. Very cool. Hopefully we'll see a Trevor Belmont, a Richter Belmont, I think would be super cool. Do I have any complaints about this statue? The only complaint I have is, obviously I work from home, right? With the pandemic. And this is my workstation as far as both personal things, hobby things, and then work things as well. So I have a lot of remote meetings in this room, and I don't hide my background. I don't hide my nerddom, if that's what you want to call it. I know people that have really looked down upon that, and they think about you differently because of the stuff you collect, but I really don't care. Most of the time, 90% of the time, I will tell you that working from home and turning on the camera and people see the collection, you really find out who the gamers are really quickly. So a lot of people appreciate it. Not a lot, but other people kind of make judgments on who you are based on the fact that you like video games, which just kind of makes me, scratch my head, because I could be investing in a lot of worse things and doing a lot of worse things like drugs and other stuff. So I just kind of laugh. But back to what I was about to say. What is the most negative thing about this statue is that when people see it on webcam, they think it's He-Man. Which, okay, I guess I can kind of see why you think it's He-Man, but I've given up trying to explain that it's Simon Belmont. Just say, yeah, it's He-Man. But He-Man had never had a whip, they say. And I said, well, yeah, I just kind of leave it at that. We move on to the meeting. But love, love, love those statues. Speaking of other really, really cool statues, this is Solid Snake from Metal Gear Solid. I've done a review of this on the channel. If you haven't check it out. There goes my ability to speak. You should, but holy crap, is this thing just insanely detailed. I love this statue. I am going to have a heck of a time deciding who is getting swapped out when Dracula arrives. It may be He-Man over there. Sorry, Simon. But yeah, he looks cool. Look at the detail on that thing. Wow. This bookshelf is actually brand new. Well, it's not brand new. This is actually from our loft, but we've changed some things in our loft too with the new windows. And this has changed too. I actually used to have two little record shelves where I could store all my video game soundtrack related vinyl kind of across the way here. I had a PVM monitor that sat on the side here, and then I had a 1080p LCD TV that sat on top of that. With the new windows and everything, the fact that you can open them on both sides, I really just wanted to be able to have the ability to see out the window without an issue, get some fresh air in here, and not kill the airflow when it gets warmer out. So we made some changes, and sadly, the PVM had to come out, or the BVM. It's actually a BVM, broadcast video monitor, which is sad. I love that thing, but no way in hell did I get rid of it. It was given to me by a coworker at work, which I super, super appreciate. Great for referencing stuff, especially when I'm writing stuff for Old School Gamer magazine. When I take screenshots, I tend to make sure the image matches what is on the BVM as opposed to the LED, just because, even with the FrameMeister, the colors can get washed out. We upgraded the TV here, actually, because I decided to go 4K. just so if I do hook up the computer over here, I have the ability to go to 4K, though honestly, I'm probably not going to use it that much. The older I get, the less I tend to play PC games, which I don't know why. I just really prefer console games, even though my rig is set up to actually be able to play games decently. I really just use it for work and hobbies and stuff like that rather than gaming. So I had a Xbox in here, I had a PlayStation 4. The plan was to be able to play those in here, but ultimately those ended up moving to the loft, which will probably be another video. We not only upgraded all of our windows, but most stuff in the house now, they're all 4K TVs or close to it. So this TV is an upgrade as well. I like it. This is, I want to say this is a Samsung QLED TV, and it looks pretty sharp. It looks pretty good, but they've got this smart operating system built into the damn thing, and I cannot stand it. Just a real pain in the ass to navigate. So kind of is what it is there, but we also switched our TV stand basically with that. This stand basically gave the most bang for my buck as far as all the consoles go. I'm easily able to fit the TurboGrafx, the Panasonic MSX2 on the top, as well as the Neo Geo and the other consoles in here. It's definitely a tight fit, but these are all the consoles I really play on a regular basis, and there's room enough in the back to actually be able to use the RGB switcher, which is beautiful there, and then the FrameMeister, and then the splitter, which ultimately sends any of my video capture stuff to the PC over here. Well, it looks pretty good. So yeah, back to the bookshelf. This was in our loft. We moved it over. It just seemed like this thing was meant to be in the corner of this room, and it really allows me to maximize the space. I have plenty of room to be able to put more records in here. Let's see if we can zoom in on the records there. It's not gonna be super clear, but 90% of that is all video game soundtracks. So there's other stuff in there. My normal records with normal artists are actually in the basement in the studio, but just totally maximize my space here and get stuff in here. So I'm able to put up all of the replicades. I got some cool stuff up there. And then, there's also some room for the statues, which I got Poison and Roxy here. That's another New Year's resolution that I'm working on, is no more plastic, no more figures, no more toys. I'm a 7-year-old kid in a 38-year-old body, I know. And lately I've been going for the more higher end stuff. That's just kind of going to stop. So Dracula will be my only major statue purchase for this year. Otherwise, if I want to mix things up, I have plenty to switch around with. But I actually really wanted both of these, and I was able to manage both. So this is Roxy and Poison on the left. We'll zoom in here. Incredibly detailed statues. The quote-unquote ladies from Final Fight, as well as Street Fighter 4 and 5. Just super well detailed. Definitely my favorite characters from the Final Fight series. They are awesome. And I know there's all sorts of controversy and binary terms about at least Poison there. So I'm cool with whatever your beliefs are, whatever your gender is. No judgment there. So me seeing ladies or they, hopefully I'm using the right pronouns there. I know you've got to be sensitive about that stuff these days. We live in a world where Xenogears figures exist, and that's awesome. 2B from Nier, she's awesome. And moving over to the side, the Sega Saturn Kiosk. The Sega Saturn Kiosk, I love it, but it's starting to show its age. Things have burnt out on it. The biggest, I think, in my mind would be Sonic here. His blue light in the middle. It's really just a fluorescent tube, I think. I can't get to the damn thing. I don't have enough people around to actually, especially with the pandemic, to want to pull this thing and pull it out and get it out so I can take a look at the light. So the nice big blue light remains dead for now. I do have the original bulbs for where the Saturn is, and of course that's a working Saturn. We've got the bootleg sampler 2 in there. But the little LED light strips I bought, the cheap ones from China, aren't working anymore, so it's dark in there. So I wish there was really more that I could do with this thing. I really don't use it enough. My goal, actually, because I took the broadcast video monitor out, was the fact that this has 2 RGB outputs on it. And I went on Amazon to see if I could do RGB to S video or composite video, and they have them out there, but I think it needs to be like a powered signal, because running that output to this, it was like dark. You couldn't see anything. So really, what I'd like to do, one of my goals for this year, is to get a similar sized TV for this, okay? And make sure that TV has component inputs in it, because if it does, I can actually use the RetroTink 2X I have to go out of the RGB splitter into the RetroTink and then into component video. And then I would have the QLED setup, and then I would have a true CRT setup, because, wow, very ironic. I like to play light gun games, and this is perfect standing height for it. But I love looking at things in component, and this is coming out, I think, composite, so it looks so, but that's nice to have in there. But I think that would be a nice trade-off for the broadcast video monitor. Why is the broadcast video monitor not in there? Because it is too damn long. I wish it would fit in there, but it does not. Okay. I think we kind of already touched on the desk. I know we're at like 25 minutes here, so I'm going to start rounding this up soon, but great monitors. My Astro City Sega replica, I love that thing. I have a new Astro City cabinet in the basement. That's primarily why I picked it up. What do I think of the emulation? I can't really tell you, because really this is more of a display piece. I'd hate to say that, but it's just so cool, and it worked. And I know they have Astro City models out there that you get, but this will actually play games, and when money permits, I will pick up probably the joystick for it, or at least the pad. But for now, it is what it is. Workstation does plenty, does my personal work, my hobby work, all sorts of stuff. Just recently bumped it up to 64 gigabytes of RAM. I'm working in Adobe Creative Suite now, and you just need the extra RAM. So I figured, screw it, bump up the RAM, get it going. I think we already touched on some of the miscellaneous stuff, and I know I've kind of zoomed in on it, but still have a lot of the figures up. The classic Final Fantasy stuff, keeping it in boxes. This is some of the more loose stuff here. Final Fantasy VII figures. And then there's, of course, miscellaneous stuff all over the place. One thing you might notice is that there's a lot less lightsabers in the room. That's what all of these bullet holes are here, if you see. That's where I used to have all my lightsaber stands, and those have gone in the basement. I opted for more light as opposed to lightsabers. They look cool, but, it's just something I didn't want to have up anymore. So those are in the basement. And I've got some wall repair to do. Fun stuff, right? Because it looks like I took a machine gun into here. If I have any regrets about This room, it's how much wall repair I'll have to do, which, you know, don't get me wrong, it's nothing major, but, you know, if we ever move out of this house, there will be a lot of stuff to do to the walls. Let's finish this up because we're coming up on 30 minutes here. To the left, you are looking at the complete in-box games. I know I talked about that a little bit. I've picked up some more last year here and there, not a lot, just when the opportunity presented itself. I only went up north once this year and ran over to like Press Start and a couple of those places. So not too many additions, but again, the shelf is full. I can't add any more games. I really don't need to, which is why I'm going to try not to. And all my systems have flash cards or drive emulators at this point, so really there's no need for me to pick more up unless I really like the game. More games here. CD generations of games, and then this is a mess, but we'll go ahead and show it anyway. See if anything falls out. Just miscellaneous, Master System, Neo Geo, Sega CD, Sega Saturn, all that good stuff. And of course the Closet of Doom. Which, believe it or not, I've actually thrown out a lot of boxes for stuff. Just stuff that would really have no purpose in being resold. Just kind of ridiculous stuff that I've cleaned out in. Let's see, can we zoom in? This is always so dark. There's probably one spot I need to add a light to. Again, I don't need any more stuff. There's the nano leaves I was telling you about. And there you go, folks. That is the state of the retro game room for 2021. I hope you enjoyed, and until next time, He-Man wishes you a very safe 2021. Sorry, Simon.
Thanks for taking the time to watch Gamer Logic. If you enjoyed what you just watched, please take a moment and leave a thumbs up on this video. If you think someone else would enjoy this video, please share it, and don't forget to subscribe to see future Gamer Logic videos. If you'd like more Gamer Logic content, then be sure to follow me on Instagram for daily photos and videos full of fantastic video game related content. On Facebook, be sure to check out the official Gamer Logic Facebook page for even more content. See you next time!